the emotional realm of our being, which is really prevalent, whether or not we deny it or not. It's part of who we are. We are emotional.
Right.
We feel, we cry, we love, we laugh. We have this rapture going on within us every single day of various emotions. And so I guess what I want to say is the sensating, that's the first part. We come into this world as sensating beings. Everything about us is sensing. So that's how we come in. And then we get to the place where we start emoting. So children start to feel emotions and express them. That's emoting. I am emoting what I'm feeling right now. Totally. I just don't even know what I'm feeling. I'm just totally emoting. Letting everybody know this is what's going on. Blah. This is what's beautiful about children, is that they can emote and let it go.
Right.
Okay. So adults, what happened is as children, we were told to stop emoting, stop feeling that, don't cry, don't. And so what happens is we gradually shut down these really, really important parts of ourselves, these parts that make us very human and very able to connect with each other on a much deeper level than what we're doing here, what we're doing just in general, because we've all been denying what it is to be emotional, sensating, feeling beings of sound and light. And that's what we are inherently in our humanity.
I love it. I love it. So how does one, kind of harness that and push that towards a whole nother skill or add it to the repertoire?
Right. Well, it is quite a skill to develop. And over my 40 some odd years of living, it's been quite a practice of not going from a place of not understanding what feeling even was, or allowing myself to feel, because what happens is we start to judge feeling. We separate feeling as pain, pleasure. This is what happens in our minds as well. So let me go back to the sensing. We are sensating. This is how we come in: touching, tasting, touching our mouth, feeling around our bodies, sucking on our mother. This is all a very sensual experience as an infant. And I've done a lot of breathwork rebirthing, where that you have those experiences all over again, where you're just this pure consciousness, this fully realized being, sensing itself as existence. And so we move from sensing to emoting, like I said. So here's the other level, the feeling. Sensing, this is what we're going through all the time. What's happening is most people are sensing, moving that sensation directly to the thought, and the thought has to split it. It has to say, is that a good sensation? Is that a bad sensation? How do I feel about that? Or what do I want to think about it? So this is how we disconnect ourselves, our body and mind. When I breathe through a sensation, I actually feel that sensation. I don't have to think about it. And then it moves through me. And then I know through discernment over many, many years of practicing and learning how to be an empathic, because we don't get to learn that. We get to learn the opposite. We get to learn how not to feel, how not to be emotional, how not to sense. And it took me very, very far away from who I truly am in this world, as a sensing, emoting, feeling being of sound and light. So, and like I said, that we gain empathy through our relationships, but empathic abilities come from actually allowing ourselves to feel without judgment.
Do empathic people have more of a creative aspect, more of a childlike demeanor? Maybe they have more curiosity for certain aspects out of the norm, and they're maybe more mindful in some ways. And then how can we harness that childlike curiosity of the empathic person?
Okay, I would definitely agree with you there, that we are like children inherently. And so for a child, like I said before, as a child will feel something, will fall down. And as long as nobody in the room makes a stink about it, oh my God, are you okay? That child will get up and keep moving and keep on playing just as joyful. There's, as soon as the child falls and everybody goes, oh my God, are you okay? Come here, let me coddle you. And that child's like, what? Is there something wrong with me? I have to feel this now. So do you see the difference? This is how it's become very easy for me to be empathic, where it used to be very difficult for me. And I used to anesthetize myself because I I didn't know how to handle the barrage of feelings constantly. There was no way 15 years ago I could sit in this airport and have this conversation with you, because I would just be like, it's too much coming in all at once. So what happens is we go back to this childlike state of being where I'm feeling everything, but my mind isn't attached to what I'm feeling. I'm actually just being in that feeling so totally that it passes through me.
Right.
That it passes through, and we don't tend to nag onto these emotions. We don't, and make something a story, or there's always a story we want to make out of everything. We just feel it, and we allow it, and the feeling is actually the most healing thing we can do.
Well, with relationships and whatnot, do you tend to be very empathic with your communication and being a conversationalist, and maybe doing some radical listening, maybe doing like some sort of non-confrontational listening, and maybe even feeling someone's energy a little bit more, like their body language, their unique facial expressions, maybe understanding important beliefs, and maybe tacking in and slowing down the conversation, and maybe be able to touch, like send little signals through the heart chakra to kind of connect in a better way to understand emotional intelligence. Does this kind of
I'm absolutely in agreement with you. Then we actually start sensing each other's emotions. So that becomes a heart wave resonance where we can actually come into vibrational alignment with each other. So each word means something. Every tone that I make to you means something, because I can feel you. Like I said, we are beings of sound and light. So I'm seeing your light, and I'm also feeling your intonation. This is something we're really missing with the computers, where we're clicking and we're typing at each other. We're missing that tone, inflection, that look in the eye that can say more words than anything, than any word, that one little glance where we actually connect and grok that mindless moment for a moment. So I in my practice, I'm a tantric practitioner. I practice tantra with people. I practice breathwork rebirth. I'm a certified breathwork rebirther. So what we do is we get to that place where we are so vibrating. We're so in a higher vibration of beingness that it becomes that communication. So every little subtle nuance, and really the more we slow down and really grasp each and every single individual moment for what it is in its totality, this is how we really connect with each other, because that person is so open and met and seen and heard in that one infinite moment. So this is the work that I'm doing with people right now. It's amazing. And why I'm on my way to Kauai.
I love it. I love it. I want to know all about it. This practice of Tantra, because it's really reemerging in this world. It's really coming to fruition. It's really exciting people, and it's allowing us to get off our cellular devices and being so attached to it, and understanding that we have unlocking potential to connect with people, to be intimate again, to be
in love with everyone.
Yeah. And being open to
absolutely. Well, to absolutely be so like. Okay, it's kind of an attraction repulsion thing. When an empath doesn't know that they're an empath and they're feeling everything and they're taking on those feelings, they're actually believing that that is them and that that's what they feel right now. So what happens is in the emotional body, we get energy that coalesces and sticks. This is actually the basis of what I think cancer is for people, is that you are in denial of some emotion, and that coalesces and it solidifies, and you can't pass through it because you're in denial of it. You won't look at that and feel through that and allow that to pass through as an emotional moment or as a feeling in this now. So
what would you say to somebody that's at a lower vibration that may be very skeptical? They've been tuning into the news for 20 some odd years, and what would you give them advice to kind of pursue this more empathic power that they can unleash?
Any kind of toning. Okay, so here's something that really helped me for learning how to vibrate through unwanted feelings that didn't feel desirable to me. I didn't want to feel that. Okay, so toning. anything. You don't have to make a word. It's a sound vibration. And actually, the more you do it, the more you find your own specific tone. And the more you do it, the more your frequency comes through. And actually, the more you do it, the higher your frequency goes in an octave, because we're oscillating through different dimensions all the time. So when we're toning and we're being that being of sound and light, we're actually raising the frequency, raising it. So it comes through the higher vibration, the frequency ascends in oscillation of octaves. I don't know if you can go there with me, but that's really potent. It's really potent.
That's why music is such a great language, and so is comedy, because it's a vibration of understanding. It's a vibration of love.
Absolutely. Well, comedy, because you know what? When we can laugh at our shit, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the ultimate, because really it's all laughing and hiccuping. It's you know, that's what's going on in the universe, you know what I mean? It's just a laughing hiccup, you know?
So good. Well, how can we get that back? Because I know seriousness is like a tone of like the Western world. How can we get that playful aloha, that playful mahalo, and really get that vibration of healing? Like, is it sound therapy? Is it better?
I believe sound therapy is one of the most up and coming. I mean, really, like, you know, sound and vibrational healing. You know, people. This, you know, I really love the Epsom salt sensory deprivation chambers.
Oh yeah, perfect.
The floating chambers, I really love that as a modality, because that one lets you go back into the womb. And in the womb, think about this. In the womb, what are we? We're pure liquid. We're being held by the mother. And all we have in the womb is vibration. That's what gets the baby quickening, actually. As soon as that baby starts sensing vibration in its mother and its mother's external reality, the baby quickens. It moves. It's the first movement. And, you know, that's just, you know, the microcosm of what happened in the universe when everything is and was and will always be. And there was a movement that happened. And that movement created, like a juxtaposition of spirit and will upon itself. Like, what are we? Oh, my God. Yeah.
So for someone like that's heading down this path, because I know a lot of people are starting to open up. They're starting to hear things that are coming.
I know, and it's a miracle.
It is a miracle. I can see it. I can see it from like coming out, the power of now.
Me too.
It's just funnel. But as healers, as intuitive practitioners, as people that are serving, as conscious capitalism has been taking off, and you can really see the laws of the universe work with political, with people wanting, and it's just everyone's kind of waking up from the lies.
Yeah, I think we're reaching critical mass, Ryan. That's what it feels like to me. Like it's the 100th monkey thing, you know. Once we reach that critical mass, it's just everything opens up and everything else, you know, follows along. We're just like right on the crux of critical mass, right there. Yeah. But my suggestion would definitely be to find a healer, work with sound toning, you know, singing bowls, tuning forks are really good for learning how to feel vibration in the body. Okay, so you hit a tuning fork, move it across your body, you can feel it. You know what I mean? You feel, the tuning fork is just like playing a guitar. You hit one string, the other strings feel it. So hit a tuning fork, you know, toning. I wake up, the first thing I do in the morning, I don't let myself think. I move into tone and into feeling and into oscillating my vibration. So that's the place I'm coming from today. So when I'm meeting people, I don't have any fear. I'm totally embracing you as I know what you are. I know who I am. You know, we are connected whether you see it or not.
I love that.
There is no disconnection. That's the lie we told ourselves that, you know.
Right.
Got us in separation.
Do you have any exercises to get back that ambitious imagination, that instrument that we have for creativity? Do you have any ways to, like, workshops and tantric passing on and just renowned benefits?
Yes. You know, I'm really a proponent of breath work. There's a really good friend of mine, Ashana Solaris. She does these clarity breath work retreats, and breath is life. The first thing we do when we come into the world is, and the last thing we do is, So just breathing can raise your vibration.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I mean, when I first learned how to breathe, my life came back instant and automatic. Like, it was like flip, you know, this script movie was running, learn how to breathe. Now this movie's running, it's a different movie.
What are some of your favorites?
Say, what is it?
What are some of your favorites? Like the Wim Hof technique,
I love Wim Hof. I'm a yogi, so I do pranayama, and I practice many different techniques in pranayama. But any kind of Kundalini yoga is wonderful. Any kind of gyrating the body, making sounds, and then sitting with the vibration and stillness. Right. Because when we vibrate out and we hold a still point, it's called the 0 point. But we hold it all comes back to us. So we're actually emoting and emitting and also receiving at the same time. It's the most imbalanced thing we can do, really.
No, I totally.
Everything else is an exchange.
It's in a dance. It could be when you're driving. It could be
anytime.
Anything.
That's what's beautiful about it. And this is how we are really going to really come back to the innocence of our childlike nature, is that we can do that anywhere. We can play anywhere. We can have fun anywhere. We can sing our song anywhere we go. And that's what's going to bring joy and peace to your life, is I'm just absolutely moving as a freely expressing being at all times.
How do we live on the edge more often? Because I know that's when we feel alive more. How is your life? Right. How do you live on the edge mostly to get
we are here to make known the unknown. That is our number one charge. Before service, okay? Before work, before child rearing, that we are here to make known the unknown. So we are here to constantly be moving into a new unknown about our own selves. I don't know what your unknowns are, Ryan. I only know what mine are. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I can go there. I don't have to know my next step every single moment.
Right.
It's really embracing the fool in us. It's like that serendipitous guy who's about to fall off the cliff, but you know, he's got the umbrella and he's going to be all right. You know, or the monkey bars.
Yeah.
You got to let go of one rung to grab the next sometimes. And it's this moment of free fall. And it's like exciting. That's what turns us on the most, honestly. It's that I don't know what's going to happen.
I know.
You know?
It's phenomenal. I hope to get that bold continuum factor, but then embrace the boring as well, but then pass through and get into the bold continuously. And then my thing is keep on growing. And when I'm growing on the edge, and then daily tasks of like something that's fear-facing, something that's penetrating through whatever is holding me back, and something I can intuitively speak to myself. What is scaring me? What is money scaring me? Is love scaring me? Something that's pushing me, and then I can feel it. Like I got a message today about some sort of relationship, and then you have to penetrate that and connect with that, and then. I guess I'm saying, how do you get the instinctual little voice inside to tune into your right path?
Okay, this is a really good question, and I'll tell you why. Because it's really the basis of all discernment. What you're saying is the absolute basis of how we learn to be, rather than judging, to discern what feels right to us. So here's my thing. Love and fear, they don't exist together, and you can't have them in the same space. So I go, what feels loving to me? That's the way I want to go. Anything that feels fearful to me, it's a good. Thanks for showing up. I'm glad I get to look at that fear in myself, but I think I'll move away from that. So this is what I've learned. Being empathic is ultimately discerning for myself. Is the body is a naturally sensual and feeling good thing. Everything about us is pleasurable. Just talking is pleasurable. You know what I mean? It's like we can derive pleasure. I can derive pleasure from like cleaning my ears out, you know? So a big part of my discernment has been to learn what feels good and what does not. And if something doesn't feel good, it's because the universe, some of the universal laws you can't get around, like attraction and repulsion.
Right.
Okay. Attraction and repulsion says, that feels good. Keep going that way because I'm attracted. Repulsion says, ew, get back. These are key laws of the universe. You can't get around those laws. All you can do is obey them. And it's not an obeying thing. It's a discernment to say, really, what does feel good to me? Because a lot of people don't really even know what feels good or what incites them. Yeah.
Is it
Totally.
knowing that the next moment's going to be panning out just because you had that intention of it panning out, and then also being bold enough to embrace that pinpoint failure, that pinpoint struggle, and then being like, I'm going to spread my wings and get past that and think that the next step's there, because we all hit that struggling point, and I feel like a lot of us just turn back when we hit that struggling point, or like
totally. I think that for me, it's more of an allowance. It becomes this allowing that I'm okay wherever I'm at because I'm there. See, once we go through this breath work and we do this breath work breathing, we realize what we are, and that we're having that experience constantly. This living and dying, living and dying, living and dying. It's they're one and the same. So the more we live, the more we actually die to that which was, because that's not in front of us. It's not part of our path. This is how we experience more unknowns. We die to that yesterday. Yesterday is death. It doesn't exist anymore. So we actually keep moving forward bravely, even more bravely, because moving through all those trepidations and those fears and stuff, it's what makes us bolder, and it's what makes us more fearless.
Right. And even have a balance when you are fearless, because you can see with the extreme athletes when they're skydiving, they're doing wingsuits, they're doing a skateboard ramp. I mean, they break legs, they are on the verge of death almost every day. But there is a balance to that. But there is little micro steps you can take every day.
I'll give you a good example. A couple of years ago, I was dancing at a festival. Really dancing, going off, like spinning in the air, just having a grand old time. Well, I ruptured my Achilles tendon. It snapped like a rubber band. Doink. You know what I mean? Like full rupture. This is a pretty traumatic injury. Most people don't ever recover from it. Well, it was one of the most feeling experiences in my life. See, because there was nobody to blame. There wasn't an accident. Nothing was going wrong. I was dancing. I was having a great time. But there that is. Some 45 minutes it takes to go to the hospital, and I'm just breathing, and I'm watching. I'm not crazy. I'm not crying. It's like, oh, I'm here with this. This is part of what is right now, and here it is, and the sensations and the feelings and the and then it makes you go through all the process of, oh my God, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? That's not right here now. Right here now, what can I do? Right here now, I can breathe. I can feel. I'm just moving. I'm going to the airport. There's nothing else that can happen other than what you're doing right this moment. So really that's an ultimate power, honestly, to just be able to dial it all into right now and make this moment the eternal moment. And then as that eternalness starts to expand, you start to expand with it. Then you can choose any desire, any kind of experience you want to have. It's like,
those
what am I going to do today?
High vibration moments when you're on the verge and you're on the edge, or something major happened, whether you're a life or death situation, when you got in a motorcycle accident, and
Totally.
when you notice that you're in that struggle, that you're bleeding, you're doing something, it's all literally being in that struggle.
It all dials you down to that moment.
And totally dialing
That's why people always talk about how it slows down, how everything was a frame by frame. You see, you're in a car accident, you saw every frame happen. It's like click, 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 click. So you go, it's like everyone goes, oh, it's so slow motion, everything's slow motion. It's because it's only going as fast as your consciousness goes. You know what I mean? And in that moment, you're so dialed into the moment that your consciousness slows down.
Nice.
And it's so dialed into that moment. That moment is the only thing that exists. And that's why it appears slow, like slow motion movie.
Well, I know you got to catch another flight pretty soon, so I
really enjoy talking to you, though.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. We're gonna do a couple more segments here after you get to Kauai and learn more and expand more and teach the audience. Let's leave it with this. What was your funniest moment in the last year that you can remember?
Oh goodness, what was my funniest moment? Oh, I have this big dog, Kahu. He's a Great Dane, and he's pretty much a goof, but they call him in Hilo, they call him Kahu Aloha, because everywhere he goes, it's like everybody's like, oh my God, they fall in love with him. So he's next thing I know, he's on the front page of the Hilo News, or our Hilo Tribune paper. It's like our big newspaper, and everybody's like, that's what they put on the front page of your news. I'm like, yeah, that's what's going on in Hilo. I'm walking my dog. That's it. When I'm walking the dog, I'm just walking the dog, and there's nothing else that exists for me. When I'm talking here now to you, you're all that exists in my world. You know, there's these things going on around me, but when I'm totally, completely present with you, that this is all that is. Me and Ryan having this beautiful conversation today.
Feel it in my heart. I appreciate that. That is the biggest lesson right there, and I want everyone to take on a fearless journey, and want people tuning into healers like yourself. And you're more evolved in a lot of ways. That now I love that you're serving. Love you're doing a lot of learning and continuing education and mentoring and bringing the ladder down for others to expand to. So, Janine, I really appreciate it. I know
Thank you.
Have safe travels and namaste.
Namaste and aloha.
Peace out. All love.
See you.
Talk to you soon.
I love.